Hello students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, we'll be continuing with the Political Science series. Today's video is about central services and state services. Before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends, and also click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. So without wasting time, let us get into today's video. So today's video is about central services and state services. So let us start with central services. Central services. Okay. See, India is a union of state and it provides for division of powers. So in a country like India, we have division of powers. Division of powers. So the subjects mentioned in union list, so we have state list, union list, etc. And the subjects mentioned in the union list are to be managed by a separate body of officials. Okay, these subjects in the union list are to be managed by a separate body of officials under central services. Okay, under central services. And according to Article 312 of the Constitution, it empowers the Parliament to create central services. So, the Parliament is empowered to create central services. This is according to the Article 312 of our Constitution. Now, the officials appointed to these services come under the exclusive control of central government. So, all the officials who are appointed under these services come directly under the control of central government. So, the subjects under union list is managed by the officials under central services. According to Article 312, the Parliament, according to Article 312 of our Constitution, the Parliament has been empowered to create central services, and the officials appointed under central services comes exclusively under the control of central government. So, these officers are under the control of central government. Now, let us see how these central services are classified. Okay, so the central services are classified into class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4. Okay, so here if you see the central services, they are classified into class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4. This is how the central services are classified. Now, if you see some examples of central services, if you see, we have Indian Foreign Services, or Indian Railway Services, Indian Postal Services, Indian Postal Services, or Indian Defense Services, etc. So all these come under the central services, which is directly exclusively under the control of central government. So example, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Railway Service, Indian Postal Service, Indian Defense Service, then we have Indian Audit and Account Service. All these come under the central services and they are classified into class 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now let us see some details about state services. So here we learned that under the things under union list come under the central services. Now let us see the next one, that is state services. State services. Okay. So state services, according to Article 309, it provides for the creation of state services. Article 309 of the Constitution provides for the creation of state services. Now, these are the services are listed in the state list. Okay, these services are listed in the state list. So there are several subjects. Many subjects are there. If you see, there are several subjects like police, then administration, then sales tax, land revenue, etc. So there are several subjects such as police, administration, sales tax, land revenue, medical service, etc. And these services which administer these subjects are recruited by the states. So the services which administer these the services, okay, which administer these subjects, all these subjects, the services which administer, they are recruited by the state. So recruitment is made by the state, and they function under the control of state government. As we saw in the central services, it was under central government. Here these function under the control of state government. Okay, so these all function under the service under the control of state government. Now these state services also are classified, like we saw the classification of central services. The state services also are classified. State services are classified like class 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here also same kind of classification like class 1, class 2, 3 and class 4. Now the members of class 1 and 2 services. So if you see the members belonging to class 1 and 2. Class 1 and 2 services are gazetted officers. Okay, they are gazetted officers. Now class 3 consist of clerical staff and others. Clerical staff and others constitute class 3. Class 1 and 2 will be gazetted officers. Class 3 will be clerical staff and others. And finally, class 4 will comprise of attenders, peons, etc. Okay, so this is how the classification works in state services. Class 1 and 2 gazetted officers, class 3 clerical staff and others, and class 4 attenders, peons, etc. So this is how the classification functions under the state services. Now let us see some examples of the state services in Karnataka. So here if you see the state services in Karnataka, state services in Karnataka, some examples. First one, Karnataka Administrative Service. Karnataka Administrative Service, that is KAS. Then second one, Karnataka State Police Services. That is KSPS. And then we have Karnataka Forest Services, etc. So there are many state services in Karnataka. If you see Karnataka Administrative Service, Karnataka State Police Service, Karnataka Forest Service, then we have Karnataka Education Services, Karnataka Sales Tax Services. So all these are coming under the state services of Karnataka. So all these are the points regarding the state services. So we saw the central service and then we saw the state services. Now let us see the points once more which we have studied. Central services. India is a union of state and it provides for division of powers. Subjects mentioned in the union list are to be managed by a separate body of officials under central service. Article 312 of the Constitution empowers the Parliament to create central services. The officials appointed to these services come under the exclusive control of the central government. The central services are classified into Class 1, Class 2, Class 3 and Class 4. Some of the central services are Indian Foreign Service, Indian Audit and Account Services, Indian Railway Services, Indian Defence Services, Indian Postal Services, etc. Now the state services. Article 309 provides for the creation of state services. These services have listed in the state list. There are several subjects such as police, administration, sales tax, land revenue, medical services, etc. The services which administer these subjects are recruited by the states. They function under the control of state governments. The state services have been classified into Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, and Class 4. Members of Class 1 and 2 services are gazetted officers. Class 3 consists of clerical staff and others. Class 4 comprises of attenders, peons, etc. The state services in Karnataka are Karnataka Administrative Service KAS, Karnataka State Police Service KSPS, Karnataka Forest Services, Karnataka Education Services, Karnataka Sales Tax Services, etc. So now let us see some question answers regarding the topics which you have studied. Expand KAS, Karnataka Administrative Service. Give an example of state services, Karnataka Administrative Services, Karnataka State Police Services, etc. Which article provides for all India services? Part 14 of Part 14, Article 312. Give an example of all India services, Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Services. Give an example of central services, Indian Foreign Services, Indian Railway Services, Indian Postal Services. Write a note on central services. All the points which I have explained under the topic central services, you can write as this answer. Write a note on state services. Same thing, all the points under the topic state services, you can give as an explanation. So I hope you have understood these points very clearly. So in case you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. And also don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So I hope to see you all soon in the coming video. Thank you for watching.